we going up and coming down. Girls just wanna have fun. We turning up. Someone wrote a runs, someone pour a cup. Cause tonight we going up and coming down. It's gonna be a while. Someone jump up in the crowd. Throw your hands up, go wild.
Yeah, as per usual, I'm one of your hosts, Joe Scoop Moore.
What's up, Julie and Jules here.
Chef Fano.
So before we get started, before we get into the intros, I just want to do something that I always say I want to do and I always forget in the beginning. And to let everyone know to rate, review, subscribe, and share with everyone, all your people. It's always good to get that out the way early and in the beginning. I don't usually say it, so I want to make sure to get that out there in the open. So
yeah,
now
hit that like button, subscribe,
hit the like button.
Share.
Oh yeah.
That's how we stay on here.
Share with your friends, with your friend's friend. So we could stay. We keep going. But how's it going, fellas?
Everything's good, man. God is good.
Yeah, hell yeah. How was the week? The past couple of weeks?
Past week is good. Past week is good. Just spiritually, mentally, physically, just developing, getting to know myself at my old age. Just building and just creating new friendships, relationships, networking, all that stuff. And more good news to come in the future.
Oh yeah. Any good news or relationships you'd like to share right now?
Oh no, nothing in particular. Nothing in particular.
I know. How about you, Sidney? How's life in the MIA?
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You're good.
Oh, okay. It was frozen earlier and I was in and out. But as far as what we're checking in.
Yep, checking in.
Yeah, man. We'll keep it real on this podcast. So
yeah, you do it best.
But yeah. So the only new thing for me is, coming to Miami. My plan coming to Miami was to switch the scene, come see how the market is. It was cold in Massachusetts for the past 5-6 months since I got my truck in November. My plan was to come over here, you know what I'm saying, and just start stuff instead of just being in Massachusetts waiting. So the state is a whole different ballgame when it comes to food truck. Like I bet if you guys heard about food trucks, you could have everybody was like, oh, go to South Beach, You just pull up by the beaches, you know what I'm saying, and people will be over in that area. That's how like the mindset is about being in Miami. But the state shut that down. The state has regulated ways for food trucks to like park and post up, and also too, you have to build your brand here. You have to build a location, like just like any restaurant, have a location where people know what you're at. So yeah. I've been working on that, but my best times have been through festivals. So I say all that to say that the road over here with the whole food truck and getting things rolling has been like this for me. I'm saying so far, and it's been a little bit challenging because I came with hella bread, but different challenges hit. So I kind of ran out of money. So I'm making things shake right now for the next 2 months that I'm here. So it was a big learning curve. I learned a lot of stuff, and it's a little tough spot right now as far as like getting all that stuff done. Besides that, things are great. Like the reviews, people eating my food, people talking about it like a high scale, 10 for 10. People hit me up left and right, but it's not like as big as I am. I just need the time to build. But other than that, I give thanks to the man upstairs for seeing another day, and we're rocking it.
Oh yeah, one day at a time. But yeah,
what's my agenda, Soup?
You want to? Can I talk about me?
What you got for us after you talk about you? What you got for us today, man? I know you got some good stuff.
Yeah, we got some good topics. Hell yeah, but just in general, kind of similar to what Jules said. Like right now, I'm like in a space where just growing and learning. To myself, spending a lot of time to myself lately. So it's just more so being able to be,
talking about yourself?
Yeah, in a way of just like not having as much responsibilities right now, work-wise. I mean, maybe getting more responsibilities because I'm basically a dog owner now. Almost had the dog here today, but it's not here. Good thing, or it would have been a little bit crazy. But just in terms of just growth and just gaining new confidence and just learning from past experiences and just helping that and growing and becoming a better person. So that's where I'm at. Really been like deeply thinking, I would say lately, you guys hear that? Is that coming from me? I hear like a static shit, but
yeah, I hear it too.
But yeah, just taking some time. Huh? We good now. I was just hearing it was like a little staticky in my headphones. Want to make sure it was straight. But I didn't know if it was on my end. But anyways, just in terms of just growth, just learning from past experience, taking that knowledge and becoming a better person. And so whatever comes next, whatever role I have next, I'll be well equipped to, take that on, whatever it may be. Continuing with this podcast, we've been getting great feedback on that too. But just in terms of that, like overall, in the overall grand scheme of things, like I would say, like I'm pretty happy. Like I'm, happy to be alive, feeling healthy. Family's healthy, friends are doing well, and just keep going, keep exploring. On that note, let's get into the show. We'll start with the first topic. Gun laws, the gun laws, just some general gun laws in America. And, before I want to send, condolences to, everyone that lost their lives in the horrific, in Uvalde, Texas. We had Buffalo, New York, and Philadelphia most recently. So like, it's no joke. These mass shootings are no joke. But I guess the discussion that we're going to have right now is just what could change in America? What needs to be changed? What certain gun laws need to be changed to just really cut this down from that? Because it's never going to be gone for forever. But like, this doesn't happen in other countries. You don't hear about mass shootings in other countries at the rate that you hear them in America. And it's just sickening. Like, some of the people that we hear guns, like that, sorry, not handguns too, but that, that own guns and what they're capable of doing. Background checks, I feel like, need to be done. Like a lot needs to be done. But I think as our resident gun owner, I think Jules should get us started on that. On just basically just your thoughts. We'll all bounce off each other, and how we always do.
I mean, I don't think raising the age from 18 to 21 to own a gun anywhere is going to change anything. My personal opinion. So it's 3 years, okay? 3 years or more just of like just harboring in whatever, how you feel about, your past, like your childhood and et cetera, and just going out and shooting up churches, mosques, schools, places of just social, just networking. So I don't think it's going to change much. But if you're asking me what can I do, what can you do, what can city do, what can people do to enact a law to help reduce these mass shootings, I think
I don't think it's on people though. It's not. I don't know if it's like you, like me and you. Besides being civilians, what can we do to stop somebody else? Like I thought the people who are giving out the guns need to do something else. That's like let's find out what other countries are doing that's limiting their percentages. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of agree with you. Like the age may not change anything. You can make it 35. There's still gonna be some wild 35-year-old acting up doing something. You know what I'm saying? So, but to your point, I think that like the age may not change, but they need to do more thorough stuff and pay more attention. Just pay more attention. Like that last, when the kid came into the store, he was 18, his 18th birthday. This dude was going on like some Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like ready to go in there. So you as a seller, you're selling a gun, you should be just how when you're selling liquor and people are thorough about certain stuff, also trying to ID and do, be thorough, be conscious for yourself. You're coming with those guns, like what? You're 18. Are you going hunting? Asking questions like, do you do this regularly? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have history of having like something to be tighter? Find out what other countries are doing that's making it harder for other people to go in there and just grab guns and just act a fool. But it's tough. Just like the NFL, I was watching Concussion the other day, the movie Will Smith about the CTE stuff.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep, we're
listening. Now you frozen, but we can hear you. Go ahead, bro.
Might not be able to hear me. Yeah, we can hear you. Keep going. Now we can. But me and Jules, as City gets back, we can hear him. But City, if you hear us, you could talk, jump in at any point. But all right, City. You want to keep going on your thought?
Yeah. What it stopped? It keeps freezing.
Yeah, but we could still hear you for a little bit. So we got the gist of what you were saying.
Oh, to what part? When I said concussion?
Yep, you're talking about concussion.
Yeah, so I was watching the movie Concussion with the whole CTE. It's like America. It's like once it's making money, and money is being coming out of that thing. The big people, they try to do everything to make sure that it stays if it's generating money. And going to Concussion, the movie, when the doctor in there, Will Smith, I forgot the doctor's name, but did you guys watch it?
I never watched that movie.
No, I never watched it.
So basically, a Nigerian doctor was doing researches, and then we had some football players. We had some football players who were dying from CTE, and he did a research, and we did the research and found out about CTE and the cause of it and what happened. So now they didn't want to when he brought the board into the NFL and everything, prove that these things were happening and people were dying, and they were calling it just common concussions, and they weren't just common concussions. And the NFL fought him, even though other doctors saw the real cause and saw the proof of everything. The NFL fought him and tried to basically like belittle him. They said he wasn't American, he was African, but he still wasn't American. And they were trying to discredit everything he was saying because the NFL wanted to keep the CTE out of everything because they know what it would do to football. They were saying football is God's given sport. You know what I'm saying? And everything else, but they were so to the people who's making money off guns is gonna be, they're just gonna have to fix things to make it tougher, but it's not gonna go nowhere.
Agreed.
It's still gonna be gun accesses.
Yeah.
Agreed. I agree with everything City said. You know, and you know, it's publicly known. You know, my dad is a gun owner. I'm a gun owner, and you know, I hear like half of my family that don't own guns. They're saying like, yeah, we should ban guns, firearms. There's no use for them. There's no reason for them. This and that. There'll be no mass shootings. There'll be no mass killings if just no civilians own guns. Only people who are in Marines, Navy, Army, and law enforcement own guns. I understand all that, but my argument was right, and my argument always will be: if you are a small business owner, if you own an asset, if you own property, if you own these things, how can you defend yourself? Yeah, even if you're a parent, or you're a son like me, like, and my parents are older, right? I want to be like, hey, I want to defend myself. I want to be able to defend myself and my parents, or my assets, stuff that I own. I want to be able to defend them from any intruder. That is my argument. Is that like, yeah, I get it. It is to a point where we do have to question. I totally understand that. It's totally to a point where we do have to question. Like, yo, should we just like get rid of guns? Like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at people online and people. Yeah, it's not. But I'm open to that argument because it's like it really is getting crazy because it's like you can really apply for a gun and just look the part, play the part. Oh yeah, he or she has a clean record. He or she is this and that. And then once they own it, they'll be plotting for years or months like, yo, I'm going to go into, I don't want to give any ideas, but I'm just saying like, I'm going to eventually.
Ideas are all out there.
I'm going to eventually just do something crazy because I had a messed up childhood or I'm suffering from a mental illness and et cetera, et cetera. So, but my thing is that how can people who own things, valuable things, and just want to protect their husband, their wife, their children, how can one defend themselves from an intruder? Because there's been a string of robberies, even for celebrities, I'm talking about celebrities with high security. We've heard this many times. People just, oh, okay, we lost City for a moment. Oh, you're back. Okay. So it's just like, that's my thing. It's like, as an American, I believe that it's tough. It's going to need a lot of discussion, but we should all be able to have the right to bear arms. You know what I'm saying? We should all be able to bear arms because you have to protect one's precious, family and possessions. You have to. But yes, we do need to all come together and say, yo, how can we prevent putting firearms in the wrong people's hands. Or maybe we just have to chalk it up and say, you know what, we may not be able to do that. But
how can we
do have to come
prevent?
together.
Sorry, yeah, but how can we prevent these whoever kids, whatever they are, with mental illness or crazy from shooting up schools? Like, come on, like that's on another level of insanity. To have that thought process to do that, and all because you have that gun, like you said, like that kid, whatever, that school shootings have happened, you know, for the last decade, really, that they've been really, really prevalent. And it's just saying, like, you sell this kid a gun, and then he goes and shoots up a school. For one, I think, I know, like, you can't say, like we said earlier, you cut it off at 35, and of course there's going to be some crazy 35-year-old that's going to do some crazy shit. But maybe like 18, the kid was 18, or at least a teen, right? Like, you got to cut it off somewhere and just say, you know, we just eliminate all these kids that, you know, probably had shitty childhood, like a shitty childhood life, like shitty upbringing is what I'm looking for. And just want to do some radical shit just because they saw it on a video game or they saw it in a movie. They want to shoot up a movie theater. They want to shoot up a school or a grocery store. Like, it's crazy. Like, we got to eliminate that, and we can eliminate that by saying, you know what, no one from up to age 25 can even, because that, I mean, of course anyone can obtain a gun. Like, you can, if you really want to find, like, you can find it. That's that. But from the seller, like, you have to be 21 to buy alcohol. So why not be 21 or older to have to also buy a gun? That's one thing that I could start. And I think 25, because 25, your brain is fully developed by 25. So that's the point in my mind where that could be a cap to start there. And I mean, it still doesn't end it. Like, you could still have the same scenarios happening, but it's just, I just feel like America as a country just opened up this whole, like, black hole of just, like, shitty things to happen over and over and over. And it's like, you have other countries, like, you say that you're the smartest country, or you're the strongest country, whatever, but you have, it's like these shits that shouldn't happen, that won't even happen in a third world country. It's happening in America, and it's ridiculous to me. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like, you have to find a solution, and I don't think, like, the people up top are even trying to give it, like, even an effort, like, to keep it honest, are keeping a real effort to make a change, because it's going to just continue happening. It was 2011 when Connecticut, when that happened, that school shooting happens. It's 11 years later, and the same thing is still happening. The same exact thing. It's like, it's crazy. Like, little kids 9-10 years old aren't going to be able, just like 9-10 years old aren't going to be able to continue their lives because of a senseless dude that, you know, bought a gun and wanted to do that. Like, what, they were innocent bystanders. The teachers also. So I mean, that's my thought on it, is that, like, real change, like, they're looking at the wrong laws right now to change, when this should be number one, like, on the table, in my opinion.
Maybe laws can be one thing, but like Jules said, how can we as people do? I think I was thinking about that. It can just be securing the schools more, securing supermarkets more.
I was thinking about that. Like, who are you giving the guns? So now teachers have to go learn how to shoot a gun, also, or learn how to have a gun.
I'm not opposed to that. It's to that.
These teachers aren't going to, like, they're not going to school to learn like that. That's like going to war. Like, go to the army to learn how to shoot a gun or a cop.
You might have to.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, do you see these teachers? Do you think that you've seen teachers? Do you think their first process is learning how to shoot a gun? Like, if you gave any teacher right now that you had, it won't. That's what I'm saying.
But just like any other job.
Do you think any teacher you had would be able to pull out a gun and shoot? Like, think your average teacher that you had. Yeah,
just like any other job. Just like any other job. When they have regulations or something, or some type of skill they want you to learn, they pay for you to go learn that skill while you're working.
Exactly.
So if for teachers, they can do educational courses.
A skill,
that's it.
Like, learn how to give CPR in a teacher's case, like, learn how to give CPR, the Heimlich maneuver, not how to, like, shoot a gun is, like, all the way. You know what I'm saying? Of course.
You're reaching. You're reaching. You're reaching for that.
Shooting a gun
people go to gun range all
Of course,
the time.
people go to gun. I know, I understand
Right, that's what I'm
that.
saying. So it's
But
not
I'm
like the
saying-
furthest thing to go to. It's just like
It's not the furthest
place that you have to go to class to do that.
I think
That's
a
what I'm
lot
saying.
of these teachers that are teachers now, and like I know teachers will probably be like, "Oh, I'm definitely switching careers." Like that's my opinion.
Oh
on
yeah.
that. So
Right. If you want to end your teaching career, go ahead. But the ones who wants to stay will have to abide.
of
by
course,
certain
but like
regulations.
as you said that I'm looking at it too deeply, or I'm not sure how you worded it. I think you guys are looking at it too easily. Like, yeah, just learn how to shoot a gun. Some people don't want to do that. You know, that's what.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
Like it's just like common knowledge. Like,
no, it's not. It said go learn. That's what you said. Go
and then
learn.
in the
Go
heat,
pick up a gun and run with it.
I know.
I'm saying go learn for protection, just so if you're in the classroom, that's the only one. My first thing was just censors censor. I didn't say about them having guns.
Yeah,
that was
if someone wants to break into school, someone's going to break into school.
Exactly.
In that case, but
what
I mean, like, just
point, like,
and
what
that,
what can we do?
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I'm just throwing out what we can possibly do. I'm throwing out what we can possibly do as people.
I know, and I
like,
just
we can all go gun ranging for fun. So if you're telling me for our safety, you're gonna make the biggest deal to do gun ranging. That's why you're reaching, because people go to it for fun.
I know
already.
people,
so
not teachers, but I'm just telling you I'm telling you. Too.
I
know but I'm telling you. A teacher, someone in the teacher spot. Of course, some teachers will do it. I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying I'm saying there's going to be a big portion. I'm also just looking at the other side. There's going to be a big portion. They're going to be like, what? And put them in the. It's one thing to shoot a gun in a range. It's one thing to shoot a gun protecting a bunch of students and children.
I get it. I get that part. But I was leading to a part on it being in the guidelines and going to go learn. I
hear you. You said it's not a big deal. Yeah, and I think
to learn it
for sure. I hear you.
After you learn it, though, you may not even be able to pull that trigger. Like, exactly. I'm getting what you're saying. Yeah. But I'm saying, as far as going to learn, it's not a big thing. But using it would be a whole different ball.
Yeah, and I just my thing.
I don't even like guns.
I hear you. I hear you. Like I just agree to disagree, and I think that some will be like, kind of taken aback. And I think it is a big deal to learn how to shoot. That's a powerful, like a weapon that you have in your hand. Yeah. It's a big deal. So I just agree to disagree a little bit, but we're on the same page.
So to learn, I don't think
to learn.
It's a big deal, but to
it's not, to learn. It's just like CPR or like, so I worked in a school, so like CPR, like they all have to learn CPR, Heimlich maneuver, all that. Even I had to too.
Me too. When I worked in school.
So you could relate to that. That's one thing.
I learned first aid. Like, I learned, but that's one thing.
Like certain systems or like different, like kind of like computer.
But somebody's life is in your hand while you're doing CPR, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Saying this
you're right.
But
no, it's not. Okay, so you're right. You're right there. I agree. You're right. But
I'm saying
that's just more. That's more.
Literally.
I hear you on that. You're right. You're 100% right. But my thing is that's common. Like that's like a requirement. Like you have to know how to do that.
Because over the years we have made it, but because over the years we made it common.
I just feel like now, for sure.
Guns common.
So maybe this shouldn't be a common thing. Unfortunately, it is, but it shouldn't.
It shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be at all. It shouldn't be at all. But we have to get drastic. We have to get drastic for our safety.
Yeah, we do.
That's what I'm going at. Like if we have to get drastic.
And I'm telling you, a lot of teachers are going to be dropping out and changing their careers.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
that's fine.
It is fine.
So that's fine. But it's gonna be a
lot of good teachers, by the way.
Question of what can we do? That's a question. Say as people, forget the law people. The law people are doing the law paper stuff, but us on the floor or ground, what can we do to assure something is happening? So we don't have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable.
Yeah,
that's the only way to do it. So if you're telling me that yes, it's tough to shoot a gun, it's not a common thing. But if it comes to you like, hey, we're implementing some gun regulation classes. It will be off campus. We're paying for you to go. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't feel comfortable going to go learn gun range outside of
change your career,
it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
But then also,
I'm just saying, I don't think it's that deep for someone to present that.
For sure. And then also you say some, like you have the extra protection. If you choose not to have the extra protection, you don't. And, everything else is all up in the air from there. Like you never know, what can happen. Obviously we hope for everyone's safety, but this shit has been crazy going on the last couple of years.
Something that's more realistic that can be implemented is, on campus, on college campuses, there's always university police. Now, I think in middle school, Definitely high school. I know there's.
I had that shit in high school. We had
Oh, you
police.
had in high school?
Yeah.
Middle school and elementary school, I think there should be campus police, in my opinion.
I don't think I even have one authority. Do we have somebody holy name?
Nah, we didn't.
Not even like AIDS or something?
Nah, we didn't.
We had both. We had like school security and we also had Cambridge like police.
Nah, we didn't. Because again,
I don't think the public schools have that.
Public schools, no, they don't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I think governors and mayors should look at that like, yo, it might be to the point where we should just start putting them in middle schools and elementary schools and just prevent.
I agree.
And just take the, like, hey, I understand that it kind of had the atmosphere and the environment. It makes it more like tense. But hey, at this point, when you're having people who are 4, 5, 6-year-old being murdered, like let's try it out for the next 5 years, 3 years, see what happens. Are kids, are test scores coming down? Are they rising? Do kids, engage in class? Let's see, because at this point we can't have another. I can't pronounce it. Uvalde.
Uvalde. Yeah, you got it.
I can't pronounce it, but yeah, we're not having that.
Yeah, I got a quick question. Just pretty much.
We're not having another Virginia Tech. We're not having that. We're not having another Columbine. We're not. So let's try it. In my opinion, I think that's why I'm putting out there to the audience. The people like, hey, yo, what do y'all think about that? Do you think we should do that?
Yeah, I got a quick question. Like, and I'll answer it. For me, the answer is no. Did you ever, through your middle school into high school years, like ever fear in your mind, like, oh shit, like someone could shoot the school today, or ever even go into school thinking that it was a possibility? You had that? I never did.
I saw bomb threats all over the bathroom stalls every time I would go. Wow. Yeah, of course.
What about you, City?
Where did you see that at?
In private school.
Wow.
You didn't come tell me? I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah,
City would have taken the whole semester off the entire year. Just with the whole school.
Oh, yeah.
I'm snitching.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's no for me, but yeah, I didn't see
and
that
then
shit.
he would have those fire drills and be like, oh, somebody called in, some stupid kid called in a bomb.
Oh, yeah, bomb. Yeah. But I just meant just seriously, like, oh, shit, like there's a crazy
it's on
kid.
your mind, like
it's on your mind, or like someone said, like, yeah, I'm coming in. Like it was it was never on my mind, not once. I could, especially for middle school, but high school, I went to a big ass high school, and like I was never like.
It wasn't really on my mind.
Life. Yeah, but it's crazy. Now it's on kids' life. It's not on Atari, so now on kids' minds. I see it on TikTok all the time. Like they're just like, someone threatened a school shooting, so my ass is staying at home. Like even like as a joke, like satire, and it's like shit, like that's real now. It's like.
Not a joke no more.
It's not a joke anymore. It's like, what?
It's crazy, bro.
This shit is crazy.
It's so crazy, bro.
I mean, things. I think now, like, and this is gonna continue happening. That's not gonna stop, but hopefully soon it does, because it doesn't happen in other countries.
Think that
I looked at the stats. It doesn't happen in other countries.
I just think.
What you think? Oh,
I think City's frozen.
Yeah, he's all good. But
I'll interject real quick. So okay.
Oh,
yeah.
You back? You think what? You had a thought. I'll let you go.
No.
Oh, he's George. You could go. All right.
Oh yeah. He's frozen again. But yeah. So I think that what do you call it? Yeah, I think evil is going to remain in this world. I said this in past episodes. It's going to remain in this world. We just have to do what we can to, adjust and try to protect ourselves. This is why we need firearms, unfortunately. Americans, we need firearms. So, but anyway, that's all I really have to say.
Yeah, I was gonna even mention for myself. I'll make it quick. Of just like for myself, like I've just gone through like experiences where like now, before I was always against guns, but I'm like shit. Like I'm going out when I go out with the fellas, when I go with y'all. I'm just like shit. Like sometimes you need protection. Like I've been in certain situations where I'm like. Shit, like you're like it's a matter of life and death.
Yep.
It's leaning a lot closer to death than life, but always by the grace of God, like you make it through. But like those have been eye-opening, and just like especially as like we're obviously as all Black men, like the world is against us. Like there's like we're not when we step outside, like we're a target.
Every time
like,
you step up,
every single time we step outside. So and I understand that. It's just like Jules, you're already there, but just in terms of just having that extra layer of protection at all time, like there's like, it's life or death now, especially if the other person isn't armed. You want to step to someone or you want to talk to someone crazy, but then once you see that, it's like all you can do is back off. You're not going to be a tough guy anymore, in my opinion. But any last words on this before we take a quick intermission and then just jump into?
I just think that us as people in the world, what we like, else is going to keep going on. It's going to be it's just going to be like this for the rest of like totally like the world. If the government and the system is not doing certain things that we don't agree with, I think that we as people need to work differently, because being Black in America is some wild shit. And I know a bunch of other white people that are totally against it. You know what I'm saying? And they also feel deeply that people are labeling them just like every other white person.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel deeply about that. Because there's some white people who don't condone what's happening with the whole Black on Black stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not holding Black people equally to stuff and looking down on Black people. Some white people who feel deeply about it. And I feel like us as people, when you see wrong, try to fix wrong. Don't be blind to wrong nowadays. That's about the best thing you can do, because we have to be together. The world is on some shackles, I think, when it comes to like just crazy stuff. And if we don't become good people as one, nobody else outside is coming to stop it. That's how I see it. It's just going to be like there's going to be a bloodbath that's going to be unsafe everywhere.
It's going to take, unfortunately to say it, it's going to take until like white people, Caucasians are legit like the minority. You know, that's like still like 10, 20 years, like it's 10 years really. But like, that's when you're really going to see a change. Like when white people are like, it's still like, it's far away, but it's closer than you think. Like, it's just thoughts that I've had to myself. They say. Yeah, 2042. So 20 years exactly away. So.
Well, then let's hope we don't have more of that.
Let's just hope. Yeah. I mean, we're
like that kid who was in Brooklyn or the Bronx. Where was it, Brooklyn? And he was doing the shooting, saying that he was trying to bring back the white supremacists or whatever. So we're talking about the white being minorities. Might be a whole pack of them fools coming back out, trying to come talk about
shit. Yeah, it's crazy. But any last words, fellas, on this before we move on?
No, just bye.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So we'll take a quick intermission, and we'll be right back with topic number 2. We're back with episode 23. We're back in episode 23, the Michael Jeffrey Jordan episode, and we got to talk about Michael Jordan. See that? See the 2-3. And we're about to talk about Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, we're not Jordan here.
We're in the Jordan episode, and we're about to talk about Michael B. Jordan X.
When did we start? Last February, right?
Yeah, we started like last. Yeah, we stared. This is basically season 2 now. Every year, so we on season 2. We got a new season. Every year. No, every year. Every year is a new season, basically. It's the way
I thought every 10 episodes will be a season.
That's what I thought too.
I feel like the way I look at it is every year is a new season. But yeah, that works too, every 10 episodes. But that, because like then you take a break and then that. But I think this one we might get a little messy, and that's what I like. After a year and a half. After a year and a half, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey are a wrap. Remember when they first dropped, everyone was like, oh, they're so cute, couple goals. This Michael B. Jordan's the best, man. Lori found a king. Lori found a king. She got it. She got her man. And then now a year later, now it's like, let her have her fun. Hot girl summer. Yeah, she's doing what's best for her. She's doing what's best for her. So you already know where I could go with this. City, you want to get this one?
Keep going.
You want me to keep going? Oh, want me to keep going? Then y'all ask me the question. What do you want? I didn't know I was on the roll.
We need everything on your mind.
Everything that's on my mind about this. So
go
just
ahead.
give me the outline to start, because I could just keep rambling. I don't want to ramble.
Take up the whole 40 minutes.
You just want me to get in trouble. You just want me to get canceled. Now you want me to be Channing Crowder in the 3 of them. Not you're Channing Crowder, but.
Shout out.
Shout out the pivot. But this story is crazy. I mean, this scenario is crazy just in general. I do believe like every relationship, has a starting point, middle, where you have your memories and end, if that's 30 years, 5 years, 2 months, whatever. If you cherish time together, like cherish that time you've had together, no matter what. But it's like, they have a big age. I'm just going to now start at the end. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, they're both very busy. people, such Michael B. Jordan on an A-list level. Like the man is a director, a movie star, like all of the above. Like this guy does not have any time, and he's 35 years old. You know, he's had his fun. You would assume, but you definitely know he has. He's had his fun. He's had his moment, and like now he's ready to settle down. But unfortunately, he tried that with a 25-year-old who is known. She's publicly known for her past, like her promiscuous, past. She does what she does. There's no shame in that. You're supposed to have your fun. She's known for her shit, and he tried. He thought that he could possibly wipe it down. He tried, and when it got to that point where it's like, I'm ready to really settle down. Let's get engaged. She's like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Like for one, we don't have the time to spend together, and like I'm 25. I still want to have my fun. Like I'm known for having my fun. So no, I'm out. Like I still love you. We still have love for each other. Like maybe in 3 years,
are you blaming,
never know what can happen. I'm not blaming anyone. So the blame word for anyone's fault.
I'm going over. I'm saying.
Yeah, you already know where I could go with this. You don't want to get me in trouble.
This.
Make sure the shit recorded.
Let's go. We're talking. We're talking. We're talking. So we're talking. So I'm saying. So I was saying. So you said she's not ready, and After all this,
Jules loves this.
After all this talk about what a woman and what a man should be doing and how he should be, he should be doing all this proper stuff. Mm-hmm. She comes in there from the whole future situation. Well, you can honestly
situations. A lot of situationships.
Michael, he should have seen these red flags because Shorty was moving how she was moving. She was telling you who she was.
Yes, sir.
So I want to feel something away from him, but it's like she was showing you the sign. But I'll leave that to the side and hit this part though. From what I hear a lot is women from like society blows it up like men are always the worst in every relationship. Like women don't do no negative relationship. That's how it sounds like when society is talking about it overall. Like it's always the men's fault, even though we all know inside. Trouble with who? Your parents over here? but
I'm talking. I'm gonna talk.
So you got a man who did all that stuff for her. Again, the red flags is there. She's only 24, 25. I always say in your 20s, you have to live it up and enjoy it. So, hey, it may be the area right there. You might just leave it right there. She probably wasn't ready for how serious he was ready to be. That could be the situation. But going there, she has a man who is doing everything you hear women preach about that should be happening. And he puts you on front stage with a dude who other woman who's a, what's the word that Kevin Samuels used? High value man.
Rest in peace.
So he was, RIP to him. He was over there being a high value man and putting her in that. Like now, I don't know the insights of everything. We don't know the insights of everything. But from what I'm hearing is that she was given everything and then now she doesn't want everything that comes with it. Go ahead, Stu.
So what am I responding to exactly? Just
keep going.
I want to hear from Jules. I want to hear Jules.
I want to hear Jules, but you want me to? No, just give me. Because like I said, I can continue to ramble. I'm just gonna go off what City said, ending it off, saying that he gave you the world, and like that's where I'm seeing it. It's like if you know you do not want anything serious, why drag the man? Sorry, I'm like slamming shit. Why drag the man along for a year and a half, knowing that if it got to this point and knowing where his mindset was, if like that was going to be the ultimatum, you just wasted a fucking year and a half. That's what it is. Like you wasted the man's time where he could have been doing. He's working. He's a busy man. He's going on trips. Like he's going out of his way to spend time with you. You create all these memories. Yeah, I'm sure you're in love, but it's like if you can't like come to a point where it's like you have a timeline. At least like if you both know, let's check in at this point, then what are you doing? Like, if you know the man was serious and he wasn't going to budge off of it and you weren't also going to budge, then why waste each other's time? That just baffles my mind. And I don't blame Lori at all. Like,
with both of y'all.
I don't blame her at all. She's her own person. She could do whatever the fuck she wants. But it's like, when you're like, when it comes to stringing along someone's feelings, though, and it seems like Michael B. Jordan, we saw him at Game 2, like when we watched the fight, it's like his face, like literally looked Drake. Just from looking at him, like you could tell, like there was something on his mind, like when he was in the stands with Corday. So it's like, it's like they had good seats, but like when you already know it's not like if you know you're not gonna change, why? And it's like the other person is like is in limbo. It's like, why then like have your fun a couple months, like, and then move on. Let the person move on. Don't, a year is a lot. A year and a half, like, that's a big portion of like someone's life. Like, you go through a lot in a year and a half. It's crazy to me. I mean, the whole thing is crazy to me.
Yeah. I totally agree.
And
it is, and I just think men. I just think
so many double standards.
Men and women. I just think that because we hear a lot that men be bashed about, but I just think men and women just need to make up their mind about what they want before we get into a thing called relationship and leading people on and doing certain things. Maybe she was at the beginning, she enjoyed that she was with Michael B. Jordan, and other women wanted him. She enjoyed the whole fling of like that having a man, and then but mentally she was still enjoying her hot girl summers extended. So, and you know what I'm saying, she made that, and at 24, 25, because they started at 24 and she just turned 25, right?
Yeah, she's 25. She's 25 now. MBJ's 35.
Okay, cool. Right. So that's a 10-year span right there of separation. So, so not even hearing that, you can see two mindsets. Like my little brother, like, not to bring them into it, but my little brother and this girl do it young. And I'll be telling them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can go bump head certain places because you guys got stuff to live for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, experience first before y'all can actually mentally go surpass certain areas. So her being in her early 20, that 20 or 35-year-olds come to trap her down for that, she may not, it may be too much. But then now, but before, it's like sometimes, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of time, some of these women just in there for like the clout, like the lust part, like the whole
and
little.
She doesn't need that. She's like big in her own right too. Like, not obviously not to his level, but she's also like known. But not to cut you off, but you know what I mean? Right. Like, she still like has her own thing. But I know in the general scheme of things, like, I know what you mean. Like, if a girl is dating someone that's a little bit over her means, like, she wants to be a part of that. But yeah, keep going.
Right. I just think from that whole situation, there's a lot of angles to hit. She may have saw that breaking point where it's like, damn, this shit is real. Like, once I lock in with him, that means I can't do this and do that or get that attention and this attention. So hey, it wasn't a mindset thing. She wasn't mentally ready for that, because relationship is all about this. Like, because you always want to see another bad thing walking, but
always.
This
100% agree.
Nah, I'm good.
Jullys, get messy.
All right, stop me, because I'm gonna keep rambling. I'm gonna go all over.
I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping you.
I was like, oh,
you got it. I'm not stopping.
Too much.
So look it, in my opinion, and I say this almost every other episode, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year.
What, a honeymoon phase?
No.
It's the honeymoon phase, but stuff festers. You guys get into everybody in this chat, everybody in the audience has had an argument with an ex. It's their first argument or the second argument. It's never resolved completely, right? Because you are two different individuals of people. So the argument sometimes will just be like, oh, all right, yeah, I see what you mean. And then the guy or the girl will never change. What happens? It festers. Week after week, month after month. Girls or guys will go to their certain group of people in the group chat. Yo, should I put up with this anymore? What is every girl or guy group gonna say? Sorry. What is every girl or guy group gonna say? They're gonna say, nah, don't, yada yada, don't put up with this, don't put up with that. What happens? Oh, all right, yeah, I'm looking crazy out here. I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna tell him or her, nah, we ain't rocking like this no more. I'm good. I'm out. I'm not necessarily saying that's what happened with Michael B. Jordan and Lori, but I'm saying is that my point in saying that is stuff like this, unresolved issues and stuff always festers. People always think that because the argument or the debate, because it ends at a certain time of the day or the week or whatever, that it's done. No, it's never done with. People, especially now in this generation, day and time, people are not putting up with stuff anymore. It's not like back then in the 90s or the 80s or even the 2000s where men knew their place in a relationship and women knew their place in the relationship. Now is not any of that.
So where are you getting at though?
it's
I'm
men.
I want more.
What you getting at? So now it's like it's not women over and men are here, and it's not men or women down here. It's people like this now. I'm talking about generally, not all, not all, not all, but people like this now, where it's like, nah, men and women are equal. What the man wants in the relationship needs to be met. What the women demands in the relationship needs to be met, and y'all need to be here. That's what it is now. There's no give and take. It's like, nah, hold up, no. It's an eye for an eye. Okay, I'm gonna do this for you, but you do this for me. And people are like, yeah, I'll do that for a week, I'll do it for a month, but I ain't sticking with that. Like I said, I'm gonna go everywhere with this.
Well, that's why. Wait, just get to a point.
What I think happened in particular with Michael B. Jordan and Lori. Again, I don't know, but what I think happened was with Michael B. Jordan now being a director and actor in Creed 3, his work schedule is crazy, right? And Lori going on with her career, yes, she's busy too. But I believe what happened, right? And this is just assumption. She wanted more time, and he was like, "Yo, I can't give it to you right now. I'm in LA, I'm in Texas, I'm in Massachusetts, I'm in whatever shooting. I'm in Georgia shooting this scene that I need to get right, and I'm directing. Like, it's just my work schedule is crazy. I'm saying this is what I think. This is just what I think. Okay, you guys, I don't care. So anyway,
got the first part right.
This is what I think happened, and then Lori was like, "Yo, like, what is this? Like, we haven't spent quality time in like a week or a month, like, and we used to spend all the quality time together." And it's like, "Yo, you know what happened? You know my career. Like, what are you tripping over?" And she probably just like, "You know what? Like, bro, like, nah, like, I really do love it. I fuck with you, but like, I think we should just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. If we get back together in the future, whatever." And he's probably like, "Man, whatever." You know what I'm saying? That's what I think happened with that. But yeah, that's what I think happened overall.
That was like, I was gonna say, like, that was nice, but I really wanted you to get messy. Like, I thought, like, I wanted to get some real opinions on.
That was an opinion?
No, it wasn't an opinion, but I wanted like some messy opinions. I thought you were gonna get like how you do in the chat room. But no, before you go so deep, I just think that last part, it could have been the case. Of course, like, we don't know exactly what happened. Like, it could have happened, but I think in the narrative that started to kind of take precedent, like what the media is posting. I guess we can only go off what the media is posting. Is that she like didn't want to get serious. Michael B. Jordan was get ready to, you know, like get down on one knee. That's what has been, you know, shared. So in terms of that, that's why I would then refute why if she doesn't want to get serious, why wouldn't she be okay with him like not spending all that time with him? I think she would want more time alone. That's the only reason why I don't agree. That's why I said, like, I'm not just saying I agree. I don't agree with you. Like,
you're saying
I want to share my point. I don't think time in the way he described it. Of course, it's like a concern in the grand scheme of things, but I don't think the way that it's being reported and like the way that's like mostly taking precedent right now is that she declined his like wanting to get engaged. Right. So if that was the case, then what you want? That's why I'm saying I don't.
I really have nothing. I mean, like, I really have nothing to rebuttal that with. Like,
yeah,
okay, like,
but I understand what you're saying, because that could have been a reason at the end of the day too.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's valid, because Lori's 25 and she's like, exactly. Wait, I still have a whole career and life to live. Being a full-time wife, that's a job within itself. Am I ready to be a full-time wife and a full-time career woman? Not right now. Maybe like when I'm in 4 years of, you know what I'm saying, if everything goes well. But if Michael B. Jordan, Michael B. Jordan's like 35.
He's 35. Yeah.
35. He's saying he's established financially. He can give him, at this point in his career, he can give all of himself to a woman. I'm ready to get on one knee. I'm looking to have children, this and that. Yeah, that makes sense. Nah, that makes absolute sense. I could see why she would be like, nah, not right now. So
and she's not ready for that. And
again, man, these are things,
her past, he knew her past, and he still went on with it. So like, they're both.
Thank you. These are things that you know when you get into when you're dating a woman and you get into committed relationship. These are things that need to be spoken about over dinner.
And they don't need to speak. They just Google.
They just Google. These are things that need to be spoken about. So as Chopin and City said earlier, people just walk into a booby trap. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna blindly step into this bear trap and let it snap on me, because I knew what I was getting into, but I'm stepping in anyway. I knew what I was getting into. Like, not to get into my personal business, this is the same thing that, like, according to the sources that you said, Chopin, this is the same thing that happened to me. It's like, okay, I told my ex from the jump, I'm not looking to have children right now. I'm not looking to get married right now. I'm not looking to go to move in together. Oh, everything was cool. Everything was cool in the beginning. But again, as I said, when I first went on this tangent, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, people change. I didn't understand that. I didn't think like because I don't change.
Yeah.
I didn't. My
Because I don't
expectations were
change.
like, oh yeah, people don't change either when they say things. No,
We,
those are just words, Julian. Those are just words.
yeah.
Things
Oh,
change.
I hear what you're saying. Yep. Okay, I
So
got you.
so after a while, for me, it was like she was like, oh, like like we should go half on a not only a kid, but let's go half on like a place together. And
New
I'm like,
York.
nah, like I told you from day one that ain't I ain't rocking like that.
You don't
Oh,
change.
nah, and changed, and that's what happened.
But
So
I'm
I
sorry.
nah, I feel that. I feel that from Lori and Michael.
Yeah. In your case, sorry, I gotta have follow-ups. So in your case, you said you don't change. So say 3 years go by, 5 years go by, where it's like, all right, what are we doing? Then you would change your mind, you would say, on things like that, or no? You're just dead set. You're never.
No,
Eventually, you would, right?
in particular for me, when I'm dating a woman or
Yeah,
I'm courting a woman, I let them know, okay, I'm 32. I'm looking to have
exactly.
children,
It's the
having a
age thing.
family
Yep.
by my early
40s.
40s.
Gotcha.
If you have eight
I'm
years where
with
you're
you on
like,
that.
all right, my biological clock isn't gonna wait for you, Julian, or I'm not trying to freeze my eggs, then there's no point in even
There's no
starting this.
point. Yeah.
Cool, fine. Go somewhere else where a man can has the same timeline as you. But if you're gonna be over here and say, "Oh yeah, I'm rocking with you because you like the way I look or you like what
Yeah.
I have," but then a year later you're gonna give me nonsense and Wahala,
So
then
what's
get
the
out
point
of
of
it. Keep on
meeting all
moving.
these girls if they're not matching? I mean, not no. I mean, a girl might actually match your timeline with waiting and like actually like being like, I kind of answer my
Oh,
own
then I'm with
question.
it.
Then you're
There
with
ain't
it
no
because
nothing to
you're
talk
like,
about.
then you can go
So
on for
the real
5, 6,
have
7
real
years.
conversations.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Like you have the real conversations, or like once you realize,
Early,
there's a
like for me,
connection. Once you know there's a connection, and like you guys are gonna rock together, you talk about these main things. Like you
bro.
talk
Yes,
about these things early.
absolutely.
Just float them out in the air, and it's the person's, it's up to the person if they want to stick with it. It's up to us as individuals too, if we want to, and you can peace out at any point, and it'll be no hard feelings. But don't let a year go by and then you have like deep feelings. I mean, there's gonna be like shit that festers,
Yeah,
that
it's
at all
gonna be
times. But like, and then like start changing. Like, don't like go 3, 4, 5 years because like at that point you start to waste. If you already had this thought at year 2 and you're having it at year 5, and it's like nothing is changing, then just like then get out. Because I think like that's like the max. It's like at that point, 4 or 5 years. It's like, what are you doing?
So let me bring this up, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, City. Let me bring this up, and then I'm gonna let City go because I know he has a lot to say. So look, right? I had this argument with my dog. I had this argument with my dog. Because I had said one of my relationships that I had, I said was a waste, and he said no. How's it? He said how's it a waste? He said every relationship is like an experience.
Mhm.
Do you guys believe that too? That every relationship you get into is an experience. It's
I
not.
do.
It's not. There's nothing ever truly a waste.
Nothing. I agree with that 100%. Because
Really?
you learn, yeah, you take bits and pieces from every. If you have a genuine connection with someone and you spend an extended period of time with them, of course you learn from other people. I've been in a long-term relationship, and like I used to think it was a waste too. Like I wasted 4 years of my life. No, like I learned a lot of stuff that I'm gonna continue as I get older. Like I'm gonna remember things from that. Where I'm gonna be like the last situations, whatever, past situation, even girls that I just dated casually. There's some things that I took from it, like
So none of those are waste of time. Like
none
you
of them
say,
is
nah,
wasted time. It was just
okay,
that
okay.
it was in like it was set in stone. Basically, it was set in the atmosphere that you were supposed to meet this person at that given time, and you guys share a close bond, or you share intimate details about yourself with someone. You learn how to act somewhere. Like there's a saying that I heard that I got recently that I don't remember where, so I can't credit it, but it was like some like women in our case are just they're grooming you to be a groom. I'm sure, yeah, like what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's what dating is.
Yeah, but like there's some where it's like, oh shit, like you might really have like cared about this person, and like they're grooming you to like be like, it could be like a legit husband down the line, but they just weren't, that person wasn't meant for you, but you'll find that next person. That's I believe in shit like that. So but when you said that, what your dog said, I agree with that. And that's the way I've thought for a long time too. So everyone is put in your life for a reason. If it's a season, whatever, that's the saying too. So just for a season, whatever. So that's my take on that. Damn, I did have a follow-up question to you though, but I forgot it. But just in I guess
Yeah,
in the grand scheme
we'll
of
pass the mic
things.
to City. I know
Yeah,
he
yeah,
got a
that's
lot
true.
to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, we're gonna pass the mic to City if he's good. You with us? Can you hear me? Okay, I don't think City's with us. So Jules, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. So we'll just keep going back and forth on that on our with our between ourselves, and then City will jump in whenever. But just in terms of, yeah, I mean, just bouncing off what I just said. MBJ MBJ knew her past, knew everything. Everything is well documented. She likes to have fun, and that's not bad, because there's girls that like to have fun, there's guys that like to have fun. Everyone wants to have fun and do their own thing and be wild. But just in terms of like stringing him along when she knew she never wanted to be serious in the foreseeable future,
Yeah.
I think that was fucked up. Like that's why I get passionate about it, and it's just like, just have your fun, but like leave, because like now like all the jokes are coming out saying, oh, like MBJ, he's not, like you ruined him for the next person and blah blah blah, and it's like,
Yeah.
like he just needs, like you said it yesterday. I'm so glad I remember this, Jules. You said it in the chat yesterday. You said like he's gonna have a drought, basically, is what you said.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me get into that, and then
Yep.
City. I promise I'm gonna give you your time. So okay. So what I said yesterday in the chat was, and I actually believe every man goes through this.
Yeah.
Where, okay, you're in a committed relationship, right? And then you guys break up. You go through at least
A month or two,
couple
or
days,
three.
at least a couple days to
Oh.
maybe even 2 months, where you have nobody to fulfill your sexual desires. So I said in the chat to Chopin and City, I said that, oh well, now Michael. I mean, I know he got a year of good love making in. You know what I'm saying? He got some good stuff. So because I know Lori Body, shoot. Anyway, so he did his thing, but he's gonna go through. At least I think. I don't know who he got in his phone. He probably got A-list,
Who he got
socialites in
at his
phone.
door.
At his door. I'm talking about like in the poodle stance, like this. You know what I'm saying? But every man goes through either a couple of days or a couple of months where like, damn, like, shoot, I need to scroll through my phone and find something to relieve me in the time being. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a rebound, but something to relieve me.
Yeah.
So
you need
that's
you
what
need
I
time.
thought. But anyway,
Yeah, you need time to mourn. Yeah, you need time to mourn the relationships. That's what that first couple of months are for. Just ease yourself back in, spend some time with yourself, with your boys, and then 2 months down the line, pull out your phone, go out with the homies, and you already know what's next. But yeah, City, chime in.
I was just saying my issue, not really an issue, but with the whole time thing, like not having enough time or whatever, I'm trying to play it out in my head. Two people that are in love. Like I said in the chat, I'm just like two people that are in love.
We want to get into that. We want to keep getting, man. I love this is the shit. So go take your shit.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I'm in love with somebody and that's that person I'm seeking, and I don't want to lose them, and something as making time, and something as making time becomes an issue. I just don't like the points you get, the avenues you got, one of different parts of at the time. I agree with those. When this other aspect of it, I'm just saying, if time,
I love you.
If the issue for two people that really want to make sure they don't lose the other person, I don't care what kind of job I have. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's City.
I just think I don't care what kind of job I have.
That's the Scorpio in City.
Because he's a producer. He's an actor. He's a star.
On every NBA commercial, doesn't even ball. He's a busy man.
Right. So you tell me.
I think that's just you. I think that's just you, and maybe some other people that are like-minded.
I just can't believe that
some people tried
that part.
Yeah, some people tried. So, City, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? So just think, I guess, in your past relationships or whatever, someone that you like really like loved, or I kind of already know how you're going to answer this maybe, but someone that you like really like truly loved, that you would have done anything for, but didn't it end? It eventually ended. Like So it's like, what can you? Sometimes like enough is
But it
enough, or you
wasn't
can't
because.
do enough.
But it wasn't because.
See,
It wasn't because
this is
of
where.
time.
So
It wasn't
time.
because we
See,
didn't have enough time
sometimes
to make
time
for each other.
could be whatever your reason was could be someone's time. That could be the same effect that whatever happened to you. That could be the same way they look at time. Time could be like a major reason. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe time won't be an issue for you. Obviously, it's not an issue for you, but it could be an issue for the next couple. Where like they try it, where Megan Good lives in LA and the preacher lives in New York, and like they're both doing work on different coasts, and it's just like, well, when do we meet in the middle? When do we? And it's like that's like a true thing. Like a lot of couples go through that, and a lot of are able to make it work, long distance work, and some people just aren't.
Yeah, but I've seen other couples have. No, I'm saying I've seen people. I'm just saying they can't. They have the careers. Where is that? I'm saying when you say you love each other, aren't you guys trying to find a way to make sacrifices to end up in the same area? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to happen in the first year, the second year, but you work towards that part. If you're that busy, and especially you said the state to state part, right? Mm-hmm. I bet before he got into it, I'm sure they both knew how far they live from each other. Mm-hmm. So if you get into that, you're telling me you cannot flip things around to make time for this person you claim you love. That's all I'm saying. It can be, there have to be other aspects for sure, and you put time as the biggest thing to stamp on. But when you love somebody, you will make time.
To see
That's all I'm saying. Yes, to see them, to give
to each situation is their own. I mean, there's a way I look, but I hear you. I mean, that's been documented in a lot of breakups that we've seen in the public eye over fucking decades. So it's a thing. I don't know, but in this case, I don't think it was time because they both already knew they were busy. Like, how much time do you actually think they spent with each other in a year and a half? Like, it probably was the equivalent of being in like a 3-month relationship in terms of like just seeing each other on crazy vacations. Or I don't think Michael B. Jordan was at Steve Harvey's crib for Thanksgiving. Like, or he's probably like filming, or for any just like random barbecue on our cookout on a fucking Saturday. So, like, the man, he was a busy man. So that's just, I don't think it was time. I just think like I said, I think in their case, he's like, yo, like, you know what the deal is? Like, I want to wife it down. I want to be engaged. And she was just like, no, I just don't want to. And that's like, there's no fault to her. The only fault that it is that she just, I mean, I guess it was like a social media relationship, one of those, I guess, because they just did it for the pictures, and then they have people in the comments throwing up all the hearts and all the goals, and you don't fucking know what's going on outside of the social media. You just see a picture, you see one quick image or one quick video, a choreographed video.
Yeah, people have like, more internal issues that are going
on. The internal issues. You see these couples, and you're like, oh yeah, like, no, it's not always the case. So that's that's a real issue.
Bruh. When you close the door and put your head on the pillow next to that person, you don't know, like, again, day after day, week after week, you don't know what they argued about. Yeah. They could have argued about how come you didn't call the babysitter, or how come you got this nanny. Like, yo, you don't know what these people argue about when they close the doors. Yes, when they're on TV, when they're on, IG Live or whatever, they're like dancing, eating, feeding each other. Yo, when they get off that, when they shut off that phone, when they close that door, put their head down next to each other, come on, man, you don't know. You don't know. And, this is one of the many relationships we've seen in the past 2 years where everybody thought, oh, yeah, they go in the distance.
I didn't.
I personally...
They go to distance.
I was like...
To their distance.
Yeah, they were social distancing. That's what they were doing.
No, man. But yeah, so like, this is, and this is to a bigger point, man. I really don't think now is like people, like, the whole value of like committed relationship and the sanctity of marriage, man. That's ancient, man. That's history. That's old. People don't care about that. Like I said in the beginning, people have 1 or 2 red flags, you're cut. You're cut. People not dealing with, and I respect it. people are like, yo, I am not getting myself in a situation where I'm gonna end up hating this person or even myself. I respect it. Me personally, I respect it. I truly respect it. I do. But it's just like we're just gonna see a whole new moving forward. We're just gonna see people being in like 1 or 2 year relationships. Marriage is not gonna be a thing. It's not me personally. I think it's gonna be like people like, oh, you still get married?
Very rare.
Nah.
Very.
Yeah, like nah.
I agree with
like,
everything you just said. So.
I rock with him and her. Yeah, we rock together, but yeah, we got a kid, but
yeah,
we're not like people.
We got a kid together.
Yeah, we got family. Yeah,
that's
but marriage,
that's just my baby mama. That's just my baby dad.
Yeah.
Oh, so you go to family events? Nah, I don't fuck with that shit.
Right. That's how I think it's where we're heading.
That's Jules. Yeah, that's Jules' dream right there. He ain't fuck with the family events. So we got that clip on TikTok.
Oh, you guys funny. You guys funny. No, but on that, no. If you want to talk about dream, yes, I would like children. I would love to have children. I would love to be married. I would love to do in the order of being married first, by the state, and then having a family.
Yeah.
But as you, me, and City talk, I'm like, yo, is that even realistic, Julian? I'm talking to myself. Is that even realistic? Really?
Just make sure. Yeah. Just make sure, like, if you do want to go that route and just have a baby, we rock together. Make sure you're doing it with the right woman. Like, don't do it like a Black China. Don't shout out Rob and Tyga. Don't do it with someone with the glaring red. Don't do it with the glaring red flags that are out there, because you don't want to end up.
Can't believe I used to watch that show. Oh my god.
Oh my god, just ridiculous. What would you call that? What would you call her in the group chat?
Who, Angela? Angela White?
Yeah.
What I say?
Nah, we would just say she's a character.
She's
funny.
No, but she's like Black China.
Ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
just in general, that entire situation,
and stuff like that.
Just fighting. That's not who you want. If you want to just not get married and just have anyone have your child, make sure you're picking it right. Like, make sure you're vetting. But again, last words, fellas, on this one before we move on.
My last word. The last thing I gotta say is that I honestly see a point where we're heading to where it's like marriage is gonna be damn near extinct and relationships are gonna be 2 years max.
Oh yeah, City, you gotta. I know City wants to get married and have children, so maybe not.
I mean, I see people around me who we don't know what's going on the inside, but people are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
People are not doing it. Just do what's best for you, and have those real conversations, like Joel said, and stop and don't be both ways. Don't be again led on. Don't let somebody lead you on. Like, don't let things keep being repeated.
Yeah.
And then keep hoping for somebody to you're gonna change somebody and they keep showing you the same thing.
Yeah. You said some people are doing it, some people aren't doing it. Yeah. And I say some people are undoing it. So you have to add that shit to it. So people are getting divorces at a faster rate, or separating all the above. So
but just like everything though.
Everyone has their moment.
You have to try it out. You have to try it out before you see if it works or what or not. You know what I'm saying? And try. People should date longer.
Yep.
And be in a relationship longer before they start talking about being married.
Yep.
Or
for sure.
Because
or before we say you want to be exclusive also.
Yeah, if you can deal with somebody for 4 or 5 years and you guys will start to share stuff and do that, what is a ring gonna change? If you're, you know what I'm saying? If you in your heart, like, genuinely, damn, I've dealt with this person for 4 years and bro, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's a hassle. I don't feel like it's better that we communicate right. Then a ring is just a title, another title, business title. But besides that, you and that person have that connection after those years. Do it long so you can really get to know what you like, what you don't like. What's a trial and error? That's how this shit's supposed to be. But before you jump into that big, deep pool of marriage, and just be sure. Even before you dump that big pool of relationship, be sure.
Yeah, well, good way of putting a bow on it. We'll be right back. The APU with more APU. Next topic. Does your career or job define who you are when you're in a relationship? Is that you, or is it your personality?
Yeah. So, audience, I just want to, before I'll let City go, I'll let Showpay go, but I just want to preface this, right? So, great topic choosing by these two, my co-hosts, right? So when we would typically we discuss our topics, whatever, in our group chat, a part of our group chat, and 75% is just nonsense, but 25% we're actually doing, productive stuff with the podcast. So anyway, upon us choosing this topic, right? So I presented a hypothetical situation to Showpay, right? Just hypothetically. I was just, what I'm saying?
And to my defense, I read it kind of wrong at first, but keep going.
Oh, come on, man. Now you're going to say that?
Present it as is. Present it as is.
Yeah,
Okay.
present it as is. Still present it as is, but
okay.
I did interpret it wrong at first.
Oh, okay. So, see, audience, you see, I'm not always the bad guy. I'm usually the logical one out of us three. So anyway, hypothetically, right? I was like, so we were talking about jobs and careers and relationships. So I said hypothetically to Showpay, this is what I said, hypothetically, I said, okay, so Showpay, say you meet a woman at so-and-so, whatever. She's cool, she's whatever. You vibe is right, everything's on point, body's correct, teeth are correct, face is correct. But I said, let's say she worked at a lower end fast food chain. Right? This is hypothetical. No. And then Showpay blew up on me. I was like, wait, what?
We were talking, like I was like kind of like in a flow of what I was saying. So that I read that quickly and I just took it the wrong way. And then I that's why I don't always like texting. So, and then like once I started to like obviously comprehend it, and I'm like, yeah, well, she works there. If I meet her at Envoy or Empire or whatever, right. and then free promo for those establishments, right? But then they don't need that. But then like I see someone, I find her attractive, we get to talking, and then she tells me she works at Pop. No, if I thought she looked good and like we vibe, I'm not gonna put that against her. I don't remember why I like interpreted that wrong. I think like when I read it, I was like, where the fuck would that even happen? Like where I'm gonna meet someone that works at Pop. That's why that's at first. And then when I really like took some time to think about it, I was like, okay, like it could happen. Right. And like say we're at one of those places and that happens. If I'm really into her, yeah, I don't give a shit.
I agree. Like, that's all my point was.
Okay. But like what was that in rebuttal to?
But also, I don't even if anybody, because obviously not Showpay doesn't think like that. But I'm saying, even if anybody was to say, no, I want somebody in this tax bracket before I can be in a committed relationship, that's fine. That's
fine, but it's dumb to me. But it's fine. To each is their own.
To each their own. To each is their own. Yeah. So
how old are you with that mindset though? How old are you with that mindset? Because this person is working at Popeye, not knocking anything, right? But we're in our 30s, and this person is working at Popeyes. What else are they doing moving forward? But because I'm sorry, I'm meeting somebody. If she's working at Popeyes at this point, she must be in school or doing something else to move forward. Because
Same. I don't think
like that. I don't think like that.
Okay, let me finish. Yeah, I didn't even finish yet. I'm just saying. So she's working at Popeyes, right? I'm not knocking. I'm not thinking nothing's wrong with it. It's fine. We get to talking, right? Like I'm saying, we're not in our 20s no more. We're not 18 no more. Life is really happening, and I'm rocking where I'm interested in her. I'm moving forward. I'm trying to build up to get to the financial place. I want to see where also she moved. We're in our 30s. We're not 20s no more. We're moving. Things are gonna matter no more. Matter now when it comes to expenses. So what is she working towards? Is she just like Popeye and this is her job and she's like, oh yeah, this is it, or is I'm working at Popeye, this is my job, but I'm also trying to do A, B, C, and D. So the next 2-3 years, I can be doing blah, blah, blah. So then I bet I get nothing wrong. But if you're working at Popeyes and you're comfortable within that skin, I'm sorry. We have to talk about something else.
Right.
So now you're telling me your mindset. That means you're telling me something different about your mindset. But I'm not seeing you out there and be like, oh, I work at Popeye. And I'm like, oh, no, she work at Popeye. I can't. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not the vibe. Because I'm not saying but we're grown and we're growing. So, yeah, go ahead.
See? But no, I like that City brought this up. Oh, man, I don't. Nah, we're gonna get messy.
No, let's get messy. Get messy.
Let the shoe be on the other foot. Not for all women.
No, I was gonna
Not
go
for
there.
all women. I'll say little more than most. Little more than most. Let the shoe be on the other foot. That reaction City just gave.
Yeah. So
that's my male. That's my male's perspective,
so
and that's how most males are. But to your point, if it was a female or a woman, as we would say, and quoting a man, and she finds out about that path, it's a very slim chance of her taking him seriously because in his 30s he's at Popeyes. So that's what you're getting at, right?
That's just our That's just our POV. Not all women, but I say a little more than half. A little more than half. I would assume they would have that reaction that you gave.
So I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we could bounce off on the question then. Well, my main thing is when you brought that up is like, why when you're with your guys, when you're with your boys, you're like, yeah, I'm talking to this girl. The first thing we say is, oh, yeah, what does she look like? Send a picture. But then girls in their group chat, yeah, I'm talking to a new guy. What does he do for work? How much does he make? Blah, 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 blah. Where does he live? Blah, 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 blah. Come on, that's a double standard. It's what
I don't want to say it, but I'll say it. It's like
preach.
Kind of like women. It's kind of like women.
What do they value?
More interested. What a man has. Not all of them, like we said.
Not all
like
of them.
You said more than half. It's like, what does he have? You feel me? Mm-hmm. And it goes to the end. It's kind of be like that.
And what does he do? I just that right. way. I think that's dumb. Because no career or job defines who any person is as an individual, as a human, like what's in their spirit.
We all agree on that.
What's in their spirit. So like that's what matters first. Of course, you could, to each is their own. Like you could, if that's your point of view, that's your point of view over there. We're not.
To a certain extent, though, Scoop.
To a certain extent, of course, everything is to a certain extent. There is a cap, and you explained the Popeye situation, and there's other cap. If the person is smart and they're just on a little, everyone goes through a rough period or a rough patch where they're trying to even you could be in a relationship and then your guy could have this 5-star job, whatever, making 6 figures. What happens when he gets laid off and that that income is gone? Then what happens? Because that happens too. Like we got to also talk about that. That happens all the time. So it's like, what happens when that person that had a 6, you have an answer for that, Jules? Like what happens there? Where she's used to a certain lifestyle and then it all starts to dwindle.
My answer to that, I think majority of more than half of women don't even consider that because more often than not, high value men who make 6 figures, even if they do get laid off, they have a secondary or a third source of income. So this is why women, not all, exactly. That's my point. Not all. So more than half of women don't even think of that. They don't even think of that. So they just think that, okay, well, I can get married to, I can be in a relationship with somebody who is a 6-figure, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. No, like the hypothetical situation that was just presented. What if so-and-so happens that the company goes bankrupt, and they have nothing? What are you going to do? Are you going to leave? See, these are the things that everybody needs to be talking about on dates and on the hangouts and the initial hangouts, because
always from day one, you tell them what you do. Right. You tell them some of your goals. You don't have to go too in deep because it's the first date, but you lay the groundwork and you have to be yourself at first and foremost, and you have to lay all the basic ones. And as you continue with the dating, you drop some more jewels, you drop some more gems of just who you are as a person. It's not all, especially now we're not in our 20s, it's not all fun and games. Right. You got to be upfront and you got to be serious and confident in who you are as a person. You make it you tell them what it is. For one, if you're in a shitty spot, of course you can meet anyone anywhere, but for one, if you're in a shitty spot, you're not working, whatever, you shouldn't be going, and you might not have the income, you shouldn't be going on dates in the first place. But I'm saying,
I agree with that.
You can meet someone just in your everyday life, just randomly. So if that's the case, and you got to make sure they're okay with if you're in a rough patch, you let them know you're in a rough patch. If not, you let them know whatever your standing is, whatever it is. in general. Like you just let the person know, this is where I'm at, and it's their decision if they want to rock with you. Like, but that's why I say your job and career and your income is not who you are as a person. It has no bearing on who you are as a person. That's
I
my
agree.
point.
I agree.
You could say to a certain extent, but everything is to a certain extent, of course.
No, like, and I want to defend those people.
Yeah.
Like play devil's advocate
to people that do, people. And that's okay. Yeah. You do look at that way.
Yeah, because like in their defense, it does say a lot. It does say, well, it may not say a lot, but it does say something. What kind of car you drive, where you live, what kind of clothes you wear, how much is in your checking account, how much is in your savings account. These are things that, yes, it does tell you, and it does tell you a large sum of who that person is.
Not all, but it does tell you so.
But I'm saying a large sum though. Not
yeah,
all,
you say large. I say to a smaller extent. Yeah, because you never know what situation someone could go. Someone could be trying to take care of their grandparents, and like they're down on their luck with money because they're looking out for someone else, and that's why they don't have as much money. That's why I say too small. You say large. Your opinion, and I just want to.
I'm defending those. Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I'm on the other side with you, who say, well, that's a small extent. But I'm saying I'm just playing devil's advocate. So I'm saying though that I do reason with them where it's like, yo, if I'm making $90K a year and then I have to be with a woman or man who's making half that, does that make sense for me? So I understand, because if you're used to a certain lifestyle and the other person's not used to it, if I'm making 3 times more than my spouse, I would like to have them experience a different type of lifestyle, or at least try it out if you like it or not. Other people don't think like that. Other people say, hey, if you're not used to this, like, you like either get on my program or you're not. Like, or I like, there's options out here. There's other fish in the sea. So I respect it and I understand it. It's preference. Hey, we talked about this in the chat yesterday. I don't want to veer off, but hey, there's black men who specifically date Caucasian women. Is there anything wrong with that to me? No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your preference. You know what I'm saying? I may have different labels that we discussed about. We could discuss that in another episode. I have different labels.
That's gonna be the first. That's gonna be the first topic of the next episode.
Adjectives I may call you, but who am I? I'm just another black man in this world. Like, who am I? Like, don't appease to me. Appease to yourself with what your values are, your morals, your ethics. So I say that to say, the overall question: does a occupation define who the person is? No, it does tell a story though.
Hell yeah.
Even though, like Chopin said and like City said, it could be a temporary situation, be short term. So yes, if I go out and I meet a woman at a networking event and she says, "Hey, I work at a job that pays $12.50 an hour right now," I really don't care, because again, like I just said, it doesn't necessarily define all of you. What your occupation is. So whether you work at a place that you make $12.50 an hour, or you work at a place where you're making 6 figures annually, that it really doesn't change my mindset or how I approach you or how I will act around you. I don't really think it really defines a person, but it does tell a story. It does give me like, okay, well, I do have to consider things. So that's just my view on it.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I mean, it's fair to say like everyone will go through, ups and downs. Like even like you hear like stories from like Antoine Walker, who had like millions on millions on millions, like lost it all. Like people go through peaks and valleys people go to peaks and valleys when it comes to finances sometimes, and it just happens. So it doesn't change who you are. It shouldn't change. Sorry, my point in saying that is it shouldn't change who you are to the core of you. Of course, it's going to rattle you. It's going to get you stressed. It's going to keep you anxious. But in terms of just like you as a person, like it shouldn't change you to the core of you, like I explained. But
right, and it's the same reason why. It's the same reason why Lori Harvey, as you spoke about in our previous topic, the same reason why Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan were compatible in a match, because they live in the same type of entertainment world.
Oh.
So they know that. At least I think that schedules are demanding and that they won't be spending every single day together.
Mm-hmm.
This is why oftentimes people don't date outside of their profession, typically, because they know what it takes and what the profession demands. Typically, I'm saying typically.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing's ever 100.
People in entertainment date people within entertainment. People in athletics date people within athletics. Athletics is entertainment. So that world, people don't typically date everyday 9-to-5ers who are, and then they have their spouse or their boyfriend or girlfriend at the time being an A-lister, B-lister, entertainer. Why? Because everybody knows that, hey, they know the time frames of the schedule and where they can spend time and coexist, and et cetera, and mingle in the same circles. That's why. So this is why I defend the people and play devil's advocate for the people that say, hey, I have a preference for somebody's social status, or I have a preference for somebody's financial bracket or tax bracket. I have a preference. And that's fine. I feel like that's valid. If a woman was to say, hey, Julian, I make 106 a year. How much do you make? And I'm scratching my head like, oh, you said what? You make 106? Yeah, I don't make nothing close to that. If she was to be like, respectfully, like, you're a cool dude, you're an attractive dude, but respectfully, it just wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't go in the chat room and go crazy. Oh, yo, shitty sofa, yo, this chick is weird, man. Yo, she makes triple more than me, and she said she ain't trying to rock with me, even though she said I look good and I have a good personality. No, I would have to accept that, hey, this person has a preference. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like people you have to think a certain way of like, oh, well, everybody should be dating this type of people. Like, you should give everybody a chance. Yes, I also believe that people should hear people out, but to give them a valid chance of like, oh yeah, being in a committed relationship or taking them serious. No, people have preference. That's what it is. You may like cookie dough. I may like cookies and cream. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I really have to say on that.
Facts. City opinions?
I agree with Jules. That's a big fact. You have to, people's preference. It goes with preferences, and you can't really argue that. I guess some people just feel like, oh, too though. I think some people have issues with accepting other people are just not saying yes to what they like or what they want. Right. No, bullshit. Yeah, some people have that issue with
everyone on Twitter. Everyone has to agree with you.
Yeah, the moment it's not agreeable, then cool. You shouldn't. No, Jules, like you said, like, it's okay if you don't like it that way. This is like, I wouldn't be mad at Shorty if she did that. She didn't feel like this was then cool. Go find another man who makes as equal as you and can replace what I have. And I'm saying what you said I have is nice.
She could still be missing out. That guy. Because
that
guy could still be a jerk. It's like, it's the person. It's not. That's where it's just like, it's of course, like we've all agreed on, you're okay to believe whatever you want to believe. You can go in whatever direction. But I truly believe it's the core of the person that makes the relationship work, not career-wise. Because if you're just looking at it from that angle, if you're just looking at it from, oh, we both bring blah, blah, blah to the table, and like you just look at it as like a transaction deal, it's gonna end. It's gonna fucking explode also. So
how many relationships have broken up because of finances though?
There's going to be other reasons. Finances isn't the only issue, but they're going to have other internal issues that will spread.
It's a lot.
No,
because if you're going to it with superficial reasons, then it's going to be a superficial reason why the relationship ends.
No. We're talking about the part where you said that it should be about the person with that person. So now you have that person, and it's all about that person, right? Mm-hmm. And in example, let's just put like Jules. Jules is that person, right? For the girl he just listed, this is an example, right? Let me finish. For that person he just stated, and she says, "Okay, Jules, I make 106, and you don't make close to that, but I like you for you. I'm not worried about your career, right?" And then she goes, and something hits the fan, and Jules he's not making enough to really hold her down. And she becomes the one to always be the one that holds things down.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a situation that you put yourself in. But yeah, I hear you.
Right, she did that.
At that point, she did that to herself.
She did that to herself. But
what are we supposed to do? Or what in that situation? What's Jules supposed to do? Like, He doesn't have the means.
Does
Like,
that start to
and why did she lose her
issue,
job? Why did she fuck up?
No, I didn't say she lost her job. I didn't say she lost her job.
You said something. You said shit hits the fan. So what is the shit that hits the fan?
Yeah, her job is there. Her job is there.
Okay, so what
things happen? Things
What
happen
are these things that
where,
happen?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Can I like talk? Can I talk
but
for
you
more
just
than 30
said,
seconds before you jump?
I'm giving you talking.
Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. I'm saying. In
You just talk. You just said a
happen.
whole thing, and then I responded.
All right. Can I talk now?
Go.
Okay, cool. So the end of the relationship, and when I say things, I'm gonna get to some things. But things happen where she's always the one who comes in clutch to cover the family, or to have the backbone for things because she's more financially stable. All right. And it could be car, it could be tuition, it could be stuff with the house, it could be other things that always leans on her. And then it starts to become and pile up where, dang, it's always me. Does money become an issue where it's just like, oh, Judy's still the thing? That's all I'm saying. Because I've seen those things happen. Those are real things that do happen. And the woman holding shit, even though she thought that, okay, just because of the person and nothing about the career. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then now it ends up going this far. And damn, it's been 5 years, but sometimes it takes away on a woman where it lays down on just what she can do. If she doesn't do nothing, they don't move forward when it comes to finances. But she loves it. Everything is fine. But it's just that part does this become
everything's not fine.
Her. Right.
No, everything is fine. The communication. No, it just becomes finances happen. The car's breaking down. The house.
Yeah, but I got two responses when I can.
Relations is happening. All right, go ahead.
Right.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
So I have two things to say. I have two things to say about that.
And you'll see how I'll listen too. Go ahead.
But you go on, you say something, and then I respond, and I start going, and then I say how, and then you tell me I'm not letting you talk after I gave you like a whole time to talk. I don't understand that, but okay. But yeah, thank you. So I'll go. So in terms of, you said two things. If things are piling up and like Jules isn't able to take care of this, or I don't even like using Jules as an example. I just want to just as a person in general.
Yeah.
No,
anyone in that situation.
Continue with my example. Continue with my example that Jules.
Right. So I just don't like using his name in that case. But in terms of, okay, let's just say it is. It's Jules, and they've been going strong for whatever. But like things are now starting to pile up, and she needs Jules' assistance, but she can't get Jules' assistance because he just doesn't have the means to do it. Yeah. So like she already knew this going in. So of course it's natural, it's a human like emotion to be frustrated. But you can't blame Jules or even like blame yourself more. It's like if Jules started to feel uncomfortable in that situation, he would leave himself. Like you would step out of a situation, even as much as it would be hard, but as much as you love someone or whatever, you like, you know what, like this isn't like a good match because of this, that, and this is the thing. The thing is finances. You said it's not finances. You said she didn't lose her job, but is still dealing with finances. So finances is the issue is the reason why it ends. That's the way I look at it, because it has to do with money. Money falls under finances, falls under income.
Right.
So yeah, so what I'm saying, so I had two things. So in that first case, it's up to either party to now, if the animosity is getting too much, yeah, everything else could be good, but there's still animosity there. And if that becomes too big, then separate. However you separate, that's how you separate. So that's my first part. So to hit your first part.
Yeah. So to hit your first part.
But I also want to explain the second. Let me just say this real part real quick. So for the second part, I'm like, what if it was the other way around? You don't have to answer that, but is it natural for a guy to then just like have to take care of everything? So like, what if the guy was starting to hit a hard patch, then from trying to like live up to the certain lifestyle, and then he's hitting the wall, but the wife can't help because she doesn't make any money or she's not working. That's my second part. That's my second part. But now you can respond to everything as a whole, and I won't talk. I'll drop the microphone.
You just kind of confused me in that second part, but I think I got it. So from Jules is stupid. So from what? So shut up. Yo. So from what you're basically saying is that well, I'll go back to what I'm saying is that when everything is working, connection, communication, feelings, everything that you said, the career does not define the person, and not said who, but within that career, finances could possibly be a factor in relationship. Do people break up because it takes a toll eventually? Correct. That's all I'm saying. So that eventually leads up. So everything is cool. Nothing is blaming Jules, but it's a fact of, dang, A, B, C, and D keeps happening, even vice versa with a male. It could be the woman, the other way around. I'm answering your second question at the same time with the first one. The other way around, right? If the guy's doing everything, and he thought that, damn, just that amount that she was bringing to the table was going to be enough, but she's not doing nothing more to elevate her career to add on to it, and it just keep 4, 5, 6, 7 years going on. His backbone keeps being the one. Does it take a toll? It does take a toll on people, because it becomes, it's just me. You're in that same career. This career is so up a little bit because now we have kids. Before we didn't have kids, it was okay. We need to elevate. We have kids. We have expenses. We have more things. Life gets real. The career does not define the person, but it does take a toll with finances. You cannot tell me that, oh, okay, well, you don't make that.
I never said that.
You're saying, though.
I didn't say that. I did not say that last part you said. I didn't say it. Because obviously, as life gets busier, for one, if you can't sustain that, you shouldn't have that lifestyle. But we already know a lot of people have kids at crazy ages and have to. That's a different subject.
Right.
But in terms of relationships, but see, now your
career is not going to define who you are.
That's what I said. But you said the last part that you said, I did not agree with. You said that. I said that, and that's not what. Maybe you interpreted it wrong.
No, my question was, but the finances. I would not say how many relationships have broken up because of finances.
I'm sure
that's where that went.
I'm sure there's a percentage. I don't know. I don't have the stats in front of me.
Jules, what are you about to say?
Oh, what I have to say is, this right here is why I was defending those who have a preference. Because, like the example City provided, stuff breaks down. The woman who makes 106, she got laid off.
Or the man.
Yeah, Chopin. Or the man who makes 106, whoever the breadwinner is.
That's what I
and like Chopin said, yes, that stuff, it doesn't define who you are. And I agree with Chopin. And
to the core of you, that doesn't define you. Just because someone makes,
it does not.
Just because someone makes.
And we're all agreeing on that. That
we all agree.
Define you. We're agreeing that it's not defining you.
And I think I'm going to agree with this next part, Jules will say.
Agree. it does not define you. But again, the prime example City presented needs to be. That's why I like. This is what I'm saying. This is why I defend women particularly. Why they're like, you know what? I can't mess with somebody who does not make in the same tax bracket. Because again, if the financial unit breaks down, are we going to be able to keep afloat?
Be okay.
Okay.
Right.
Are we? Especially if children are involved. Children are involved. So that is why, like, that's why, like, me.
It's not defining you.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It does define, but exactly, it's important. That's why I said it does tell a story. So
yes, it doesn't become an effect that separates relationship, and that's why I was going. I'm not saying defines you or your character. No, it does not.
I know
it does not. We agree for facts.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the main point I was making. This other stuff I never said. That the other part.
Okay, go ahead.
Or the last part.
We might need a part 2 of this because this is
for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep going. Yeah, we're not dropping. We're gonna keep going in the next clip. But I just think there was a part that, of course, I know shit gets real in the I think that's what was misinterpreted somewhere. Of course, things get real, and you need someone else. You just can't rely on one person all the time. But then you also have to look at it too. I was just thinking when everyone was going I don't even really think it needs to be brought up, but I will.
No, go ahead, bro.
Just in terms of, like, say someone, like, let's use an athlete as an example. They're making money for to a maximum of 15 years. Like, they're making their, generational wealth. So in terms of a relationship, they can literally find the most regular girl that doesn't make anything. Just say not regular in terms of career, not like in terms of looks, obviously, but just in terms of she's not making up in. That doesn't matter. She can live it up. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. And then, I mean, obviously, eventually the money's going to stop. The player's going to retire, but you save and you do this, and like that could work, is what I'm saying. So obviously, it's not going to be the same reverse. That's really rare, I would say. Or that, but for a guy and a girl like that, you can respond to that. But that's a thought that came to my mind when when we were just going back and forth there. But yeah.
So yeah, no, okay. So Shope, with that example, that happens. That does happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say it's fairly common. It's not uncommon. I said that's fairly common. Like A-listed to somebody who's just a 9-to-5er. Okay.
Just someone you meet at college or something, and she just follows you along your NBA journey.
Right. Okay. But let's say the unit breaks down. Okay, where you said that the person has generational wealth for some odd reason, the bank accounts are frozen, the savings account are frozen.
Yep.
Then what happens? That's what. See, so this is why I defend
happens.
those.
Life. You figure it out.
Where you're gonna have to get food stamps. You're gonna have to get food stamps. You're gonna have to be using public transportation. You're gonna have to be borrowing money from the. This
your lifestyle is dropping from here to here.
This is why preference matters.
I agree. I never said it didn't. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what got lost in translate. Okay, because I was just the heat was coming at me like I didn't. Okay, yeah. No, not from you, but yeah.
The general people, the men and women who look at people in their circle and their field, this is why they choose it. This is why they don't tend to look out, because again, if the unit breaks down, are we going to have a leg to stand on? It makes sense to me. It's valid to me. That's
that's something that you figure out in the meantime, because like you can't help it if you go to, like I said, you go somewhere, anywhere, some kind of event, or if you're in school and you meet someone, of course they're not going to make the same amount of money as you. If we're comparing pro athlete money to the average 9-to-5, they're not. Yeah. But
even
that's up to even a doctor. That's up to you to choose. Either you want to go with a regular person, or you want to go with the doctor that's making a 6-figure deal, that a 6-figure income that can sustain you in case something does hit the fan. But at the end of the day, it's compromise and it's talking it out, and it's to each is their own.
And you better prepare yourself.
I don't blame
prepare yourself about
anybody.
That time.
You gotta prepare yourself. You save. You do anything. If this is the person you choose.
No, I mean, like, if you're gonna date a doctor, prepare yourself for not having time. Go back to mind you who you choose if you wanna.
There you go.
Because you pick a doctor, no free time like that. Doctors don't be.
Well, if you're a doctor, the other players at NBA, I think it was Vince Carter. Vince Carter married a doctor. Yeah.
Oh, really?
They had, his first or his last wife. They did have a divorce by now, but I think
you see?
You see?
Did it work out?
You see?
Did it work out?
See? No, they're divorced.
But
for how long?
I don't know the stats, but they've been he's been single for a minute. BC, shout out Vince Carter, human height. Sorry, half man, half amazing. But yeah,
this is why people have preference, man.
Yeah, you guys want to keep this one going, or just jump into?
No,
you feel good.
You made my point with the Vince Carter. The Vince Carter.
There you go, and I knew that the entire time. That was flowing in my mind, bro. So like, I know, like, I'm saying the way it is. It shouldn't define. That's the way I look at it. I understand people that look at it the opposite way, because obviously that has to be a priority in some people's cases, and teaches their own. Good luck in your relationship. But I think we could do a little NBA talk on the other side. Just be remiss if we don't talk about the finals, so we'll just jump into that in a quick second. Hey, let's wrap it up with some NBA talk. We don't know when this is going to come out, so as of this, date, as we're talking, it's going to be Game 4, Friday night. So all three of us, our Celtics are up currently 2-1 in the NBA Finals, and basically let's just talk about what we've seen so far and what our predictions are for the rest of the series, and we'll see when we get back the next time we record, or if it's over, we'll see if we were right or wrong. But Mr. Celtic City, you want to get us going?
We're gonna win tonight.
You're gonna win tonight, and then we're gonna win on Monday.
We're gonna win tonight, and then we're gonna win on Monday, and it's gonna be over.
So you rather win in San Francisco than win in Boston, right? As soon as possible, get it done.
What?
Bring the trophy. Yes. That celebration though in Boston when you win in the Garden.
It'll be lit, but if we can step on the next on Monday, get it out the way, bro. You never
one
know
day
what
at a time. Yeah. So
you never know what could happen, man. Mm-hmm. And then, I keep saying that, man, and they're saying that on the sports media too. If our boys can stop turning the ball over, these series would have been faster and been over sooner.
You think it would have been 3-0? You think it would have been 3-0 if they just for games? If we played They beat us bad. I mean, the turnovers.
Even last series.
It was just that third quarter. It was just that third quarter of game 2 that they fucked up, and that was it for game 2. Other than that, we've been the better team. And like that's what I've been. Sorry, I don't like to say we because you guys will start saying all this shit. So the Celtics are the better team, and just in terms of, gosh, I forgot where I was going with this. But just in terms of, I got it. They are the better team, and I didn't know that going in. Like I thought, like the Warriors, like
you never knew that.
No, I wasn't sure. That. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You never knew that. They've been the better
I'm trying to.
All the series.
When they played each other before, you would say in the beginning of the year, the Warriors with their team, you would think the Celtics were already better. We didn't know the Celtics defense was going to be like this. So don't even, that's cap right there.
I picked the Celtics since last year. I said the Celtics.
All right, so then me and Jules are talking right now. Jules, before game 1, did you have a concern that the Warriors just might have too much firepower when you have Steph and you have Clay and you have Jordan?
Listen.
Cool.
Of course you always worry about Stephanie Clay.
Okay.
Even the Nets series, I said Nets in 6.
Thank you. Because you thought
that's what Jules said. That's what Jules
I know.
But Jules consistently apologizes about how wrong
I apologize too. Stop it. I don't apologize. I haven't said I was wrong. Then don't forget, I'll be at the parade. I don't know if you're showing up to the parade, but God willing,
series,
I'll be at the parade if it happens.
This series, I said Warriors, and I had
Celtics in 6.
I think I said Warriors in 5.
Crazy.
Because the thing is, I thought there was matchup problems, but people educated me.
His forehead is shiny. I got him sweating.
Nah, I'm not sweating.
No, people educated me and said, no, Julian. Yo, Celtics match up the best out of all the teams in the East with the Warriors. And I said, oh, okay. And they told me and they showed me. And then I said, oh, okay, yeah, I was wrong. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I said Warriors in 5. No, this series, the Celtics have control of it.
Right now.
Celtics have control of this series right now. They have control of it. They've neutralized Klay Thompson. They've neutralized Draymond Green. Steph Curry, nobody can guard Steph Curry, so he's going to do whatever he wants. But they've neutralized. Also, I always thought Golden State with Kevon Looney, I thought he could neutralize Robert Williams. No.
He hasn't.
Robert Williams is grabbing every board. It's boxing out, defending, shot blocking.
He's quick off his feet. Yeah, he's quick off his feet.
Quick off his feet. So I did not see this.
So just to respond, we have a neutral. Clay went off last game. He had 25. Yeah, he had 25,
okay.
and he kept them in the game in the third when they were making that comeback. And Steph. So they have 2 nuclear weapons. Like, and what I'm nervous about, and what can happen in any game, and more so like in San Francisco, is if the Warriors are clicking on all cylinders on offense, that defense doesn't matter. You already know Steph is Steph. You ain't stopping. If Clay is on, if Jordan Poole is coming off the bench and he's on, then we saw it in game 2. We saw it in the second half of game. Even all that game. If those boys are on, there's no stopping. There's no off switch. You're not flicking the switch.
And Celtics is going to sit there and let them just be on.
Here we go. We saw it happen. We saw it. So they're going to. You can't out. I'm not talking about you. See, you bring your Celtics fan. I can't talk basketball with you. I can't talk basketball. Everything I say, I'm trying to give analysis. I say something, and I said I can't talk basketball with you because you just always just shoot. This is what you do, and then you say I say this. I know I joke around sometimes, but when I try to have a serious conversation, I'm not sweating. There's no sweat on my face. Like if I have a serious conversation with you, like then you just say this and you just like refute everything I say. Like it's nothing. I'm saying if the Celtics go cold and the Celtics are turning the ball over, if the Celtics go cold, they're turning the ball over and the Warriors are hitting on all cylinders, there's nothing you could do. If they're just turning the ball over and they're hitting, they're not going to outshoot the Warriors. You can't outshoot threes, beat 2 every time.
You're talking about like this though. Like yes,
I'm giving real life scenarios.
No, every team has games where they all go up and everything's clicking, right?
Well, you have to shut down one. You have to shut down.
It doesn't happen for 7 games.
That's not what I'm saying.
Realistically, you're not being realistic.
I am talking realistic.
And then another thing, when the Celtics are off on offense, you know what keeps them in the game? The defense is what people talk about. So they can be hitting on all cylinders and stuff, but we still got the remedy.
Yep. I think it's just I don't know. I can't.
No, you're trying to say that. No,
I'm telling you what the Warriors need to do to win.
You tell me, if they can hit on all cylinders.
If, of course, because everything is a matter of if in the game. If you can shut down Clay, if the Celtics, what they've done, if they can shut down Clay and keep him under 20, and they can, shut down Jordan Poole, which is it's obviously easier, and and Draymond, keeps fucking up and doing what he did in game 3. He's a storyline of his own.
Real,
but you're saying everything.
But he's annoying when he's on the court.
I think if he was a Celtics, you would love him. So if it's one of those players, then I don't subscribe to that shit, because I think if he was on your team, you'd be like, yeah, because you could say cats could say the same thing about Marcus Smart. Cats could say the same exact thing. They could say,
right, and when he does dumb stuff, I definitely be like, oh, Marcus.
Of course, when Draymond is doing some extracurricular shit that isn't cool, putting his legs, his feet, that you can't condone shit like that. But Draymond I don't know what happened to his jump shot, because he used to be able to shoot at a competent level. I don't know what's happened, but he's the heartbeat of that team. Like Draymond is what is the engine of the Warriors. He's the guy that keeps them going, and he was off. That's why
they need CPR or a jumper cable.
Yeah, but like they say, every game is a new chapter. Every game is a new story. So you never know what could happen tonight. You got to neutralize Clay. Steph is just hit or miss. He throws it up and you just pray. But usually 90% of the time that shot's going in, that three's going in. So you saw how we came off in game 1, and the Celtics sustained that, and they locked in on defense. They limited the turnovers. They were able to take game 1. Game 2, it was a close game. And then going into half, we were only down 2, but the Warriors were hitting. Like I said, we're hitting on all cylinders. Steph wasn't missing. Jordan Poole was going off, hit the 3 at the buzzer. What can you do at that point? And they couldn't keep up, and their offense was down. So I'm saying, you got to limit the turnovers. That's all I was saying. But you're just so quick to want to rile me up for whatever reason. But it's like, that's all I'm saying. I'm rooting for the Celtics to win. That's all I'm saying. I'm seeing what I saw with my eyes, because I watched the game just like you. And I'm saying, okay, if the Celtics are the better team after 3 games. With 3 games, the Celtics are clearly the better team. But the Warriors, so they're not out. They have the advantage right now. But if the Warriors win tonight, then they have the advantage, because all they have to do is win 2 home games out of 3, and then they're the champions. So it's like,
right.
It's the Celtics. They have to win tonight. Obviously, every game is a must win. But it's just like, there's no fucking around. Like, you have to keep Jalen's ball handling. He has to tighten up his dribble. He can't just hand it off to you. He did a better job last game, but you already know how it's been all playoffs. Every time he has the ball and he starts dribbling, everyone holds their breath. That is what it is. Al also has to step up too. Is all I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
Saying that tone, yeah, I'm going to. When you was talking earlier, all I heard you saying all the great things,
because you didn't even
going great for Golden State, and the Celtics should just sit there and like, what are the Celtics going to be?
That's how you took it.
Even in that third quarter, when they went crazy, Celtics were not great, but they still sustained it. Like,
they didn't sustain.
It didn't go out of control. It didn't go out of control.
It did get out of control in the third.
No. It didn't. It would have went out of control. The game was over.
The scoreboard.
Because the game would have been over if we didn't sustain it. But we just got to limit our time.
You mean in game 2 or game 1? Or game 4? Or sorry, the last game. Game 3? Okay, you're talking about the last game.
Yeah.
I was thinking game 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I thought you meant game 2 when they lost.
Game 2, that was a flourish. Like, they weren't they did a better job in game 3 of handling, even though they just outscored them third quarter, but they still sustained it.
They sustained it. The Warriors went up 2. That's all I'm saying. Because the Warriors are going to go on a run regardless. Steph is going to go crazy for 4 or 5 minutes, hit 4 threes in a row or whatever, start dancing, and you got to sustain that, because there's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
You just can't let Jordan Poole go off. You got to lock it, because you know Jordan Poole is going to be non-existent on defense. So when Jason Tatum is going to take, or Jalen's going to take JP to the basket every time, what they have. You can't play Steph and Jordan Poole together. And then exactly. Steph was now he might be a little bit limited because of his leg. Like, we don't know the true extent to it, but injuries happen. They dove for a loose ball.
That boy's ankles are taped up.
Yeah, he got the brace and everything. He got the brace. Like, he doesn't fuck around. Like, he's Steph Curry. That's the only one I'm scared about. Like, if
this is what I think happens.
They go off.
This is what I think happens. Warriors win tonight. Then we go back to San Francisco.
Because he put money on it. That's why he put money on it.
No, audience, don't listen to him. This is what I think happens. Warriors win tonight, tied up 2-2. We go back to San Francisco 2-2. Then Celtics, and I'll say
That's
in a 1 point game,
risky.
in a high scoring 1 point game, they win in San Francisco.
Look at this
Then
fantasy.
everybody's like, oh yeah, Celtics gonna end it. Celtics gonna end it. Then they go back to Boston.
You're just juggling with the trophy.
Exactly, it's gonna be zigzag. Then it goes back. Then it goes to Boston. Steph Curry has a crazy 47-point game. Then you go back to San Francisco, and then Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are just unstoppable. No, listen, they're just
on the road, just unstoppable.
On the road, road. Wait, aren't Celtics the best road team?
You're just looking at the stat like.
You see.
Yeah, I feel like
that's what I'm saying. That's risky, bro. That's risky, bro. That's risky.
Urgent game. I would take that urgency out the way.
Miami's one thing.
And win tonight, cause bro, what if one of those all that flick flop you're doing? What if one of those nights happen with players on and
my point? That's my point.
That's what I think.
That's my point.
And what's my colors on one? Because I know one of those nights, them shooters would just happen to just fucking throw it in the air.
That's my point.
You don't want to play with that.
That's
it's not
gonna
be every night, but one of those nights, you don't want to. If you have that much chance, you don't want to give them a chance for one of those nights to happen, and it happened to be in Game 6.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys play out the rest of the series then. Play it out.
Wait, I had. So you go first, and then I'll say my shit. Then I'll wrap it up. Then we'll wrap it up. So you say how you think it is, and then I'll go.
I said tonight. Tonight the word's gonna come out hard in the first quarter. They're gonna come hard in the first quarter. They're going to lead the first quarter. Second quarter, the Celtics going to go back and sustain it and settle things back down. The Warriors going to lead the game by the halftime. And then they're going to do the third quarter thing. But Celtics going to do a way better job this time in the third quarter of sustaining that. They might even win this third quarter, this game. And then we'll close it out. It'll be a close game. Like a 5-point game. It'll be a close shutout game. But we're going to pull it out. And then we'll head out, do our thing there, and it will close it out.
It'll be over. So Celtics in 5. You got Celtics in 5. Me, I have Celtics in 6, so I have Celtics tonight. Back to San Francisco on Monday. Warriors take that, and Celtics bring it home at home. I think that would be like a Thursday game. I don't know. But I have another question. I don't like to say who's the MVP. I'm not going to ask that question because it's not over. But I will ask, and we'll wrap it up on this. Who on both teams, who has been the best player so far in the games? In all the games combined, who would you say is not the MVP, but the best player in the series so far? Who wants to start it off? I don't.
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
City, go.
City, you got one? Ooh, I got 2 players. I'm in between 2 players.
It'd be Jaylen Brown.
You think
the best player I've seen.
Over Steph?
Yeah, it has to be Juice.
Mm-hmm. City, he said Jaylen. Drew said Jaylen. I'm leaning as the best player on both teams in the series so far.
I think Jaylen might get MVP if he keeps playing like this.
Yeah.
Like he different. He different, bro.
Like Jaylen might get MVP, and to retrack a little bit, to be realistic, I think Celtics will close it in 6 because I don't think they're gonna win 3 games straight.
That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna win tonight.
They're gonna win tonight.
Losing Golden State, and then come back and close out the crib for 6. But I don't believe in that Game 7 thing. Yeah. And if we do make it a Game 7, I think we're gonna lose.
Really?
I do too.
I think Celtics in 7.
That's too.
I think we'll make it a Game 7. If we take it a Game 7,
it'll be too much pressure. Man.
Everybody wins on each other's home courts. I think that's what's gonna happen. That's just me though.
For that, the Celtics, they're not built for that. Celtics right now for the help they need. Their role teams will play better. Their role players will play better at the crib.
This is a must-win. Like whoever wins this game will win the series, in my opinion. Whoever wins this,
I think so too. I like that. But
the thing is too though. But if the Celtics win today, I mean, if they win today, like we said, that person will win the series. But if they don't close it in 6, I feel like in 7 they're gonna have a problem. It's gonna be that because I think that if you give that much chance to do on their home court, and then the Celtics are very good at being laxed.
Yep.
So after winning that, they're gonna get laxed. After winning so much, giving so much cushion, you don't want that.
I hope they don't have that shit tonight. Hopefully tonight they don't get relaxed because they know they're up 1-0. This is must win. This is Game 7. Yes, that's right. But it's been fun. It's been a fun playoff season in Boston. I wish City was here to feel it a little bit, but I mean, you got to feel some playoff intensity in Miami, but it's nothing like Boston.
Miami.
After game one, I was near the Garden. It was crazy. People were dancing after that win, and it was going wild. But it's big. But yeah,
aren't the Lightning still alive? So
Tampa Bay is in Miami. That's
yeah,
true.
but I mean,
it's not
Tampa Bay and Miami. Are they like rivaling cities where like, nah, we don't mess with y'all sports teams, and it's like that?
I don't know about that, but I think each fan is different. But Florida, I get what you're saying. But on that note, fellas, episode 23, another good one. And until next time, I'm sure Scoop more.
Jules here.
Chef Fano, we out.
And we out. Until next time. Peace.
Girls just wanna have fun. We turning up. Someone wrote a runs. Someone pour a cup. Cause tonight we going up and coming down. It's gonna be a while. Someone jump up in the crowd. Throw your hands up, go wild. Jump up and down. Cause tonight we turning up. Yeah,